Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another video, and this is a paid request for Shawn. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a Cash App. People have asked about that. Anyway, the links, I've said many videos before, they're down below in the info box. PayPal is usually the best way to do it. I'll get to it as soon as I can. And Shawn wanted me to do a commentary on American Psycho. Sorry, I'm slurring my words. I just didn't get much sleep the other night, but maybe that's the right mindset to watch a film like this. Shawn, I do appreciate your kindness. I will say though, if you ever do send more in the future, it'd be best to send one at a time, because you sent about 8 of them at one time. I do appreciate the kindness, generosity. Just hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request from Shawn. Thank you so much for that. And for anyone that wants to request pretty much any type of video, review, re-review, topic, reaction, commentary, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Do have a Cash App. Links are down below in the info box. I'll get to it as soon as I can. PayPal is usually the best way to do it. And he wanted me to do a commentary on American Psycho. And without further ado, let's get into it. Pause the beginning. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. I apologize that these are getting out to you a bit later than usual, Shawn. I think he understands. He sent like 8 of them. So I know there's a few more after this. I think there's about 3 more after this. And appreciate his patience. Thank you, Shawn, and your generosity. Very kind of you. So, American Psycho. Christian Bale, I mean, he had done films before. There's like Empires of the Sun, the Steven Spielberg film. One of those Spielberg films like no one ever talks about. And that starred Christian Bale as when he was a little kid. But this definitely brought him to prominence. I know originally there was talks of Leonardo DiCaprio doing the film. But I think Christian Bale definitely was the perfect choice for it. Now, I don't have much info on the film. I mean, the info I found is stuff between the book. Never read the book. Never read the book it was based on. And I mean, a lot of that stuff you just find on Wikipedia or IMDb trivia, if it's true, because sometimes that stuff gets altered. So, I'm not gonna look that up. Just concentrate on the film itself. As is extravagant dinner. But honestly, the food looks disgusting. I mean, I know it's supposed to be rich people shit, but it looks gross to me. I mean, that looks like cat food. Or a cat took a dump in the food. Squid ravioli. That just sounds disgusting. See, all the stuff they're describing just sounds absolutely disgusting, and yet people pay a ton for this. Now, that guy there is Josh Lucas. I recognize him. He was in Session 9 with David Caruso. And let's see, Josh Lucas. He tried to be a big star. He was in films like Poseidon with Kurt Russell. And what was that film, Stealth, with Jamie Foxx? But those didn't really work out. I think one of the things that's good about the film is this upper echelon posh, I don't know how to put it, just the way these characters behave just represents the yuppie dickhead style fairly well, especially in this era of the 80s. And the fact that this guy who's just so wants to be like prominent and picture perfect in body, and yeah, is incredibly psychotic. And that's the thing, like he's got the looks. Well, that right there is definitely the first instance you go, oh, okay, there's something up with this. The way he's like, you fucking bitch would have stabbed you to death and play around with your blood. Now, that gets into the question of, again, what is reality, what is not really, what did happen, what didn't happen, meaning even to the end of the film. Maybe other people don't look at it that way, they'll look at it much more straightforward, but that's how I look at it, where that scene alone, did he really say that, but the music was so loud she couldn't hear him? Or did he imagine saying that, and it's like his inner thoughts projecting for us, the audience, to see? I think just how, I don't want to say uptight, but just how posh he is with all this is makes it kind of like funny. I mean, it's a kind of a fun black comedy in a way. And I like how materialistic the guy is, and the specific, unique. But then it kind of makes you wonder what kind of person he is, where he's so adamant about this, but yet it seems like he hates this as well. It's like he hates doing this, he hates being this, he hates his lifestyle, but then it's like, does he? Maybe he like fills all this stuff in, thinking, hoping he'll be normal, but just not there, as he puts it later on. Idea of a Patrick Bateman. Just as the thing is that no matter where he goes, he wears this facade everywhere he goes, and every day you have a psycho listen to Walking on Sunshine. Yeah, the kind of that difference between the two feelings makes it a bit funnier than your regular film. And the cutthroat business of, I don't know how the hell you want to call his business. The Wall Street yuppie style type of thing. I think it's one of those things that each time I watch this, I still try to like get a gather on who Patrick Bateman is and how his mind ticks. This is definitely unique. Of course, this takes place in the '80s, so definitely has a great soundtrack. Simply irresistible. Yeah, Reese Witherspoon. I guess, if you were with Reese Witherspoon, you'd be wanting to just put those headphones on as well. I've just never been a big Reese Witherspoon fan. There are films I could watch that I could deal with her in, but I don't know. Just never really got into her whole vibe, her whole acting style. I know a few other people don't like her, and they call her like Greasy Reezy. That's another thing, like with Patrick Bateman, it's like he wants the best tables, he wants the best seats, he wants the best business cards. If he doesn't quite get it, it just enrages him in a way. I think that girl is Samantha Mathis, who was in the 1993 Super Mario Brothers film, Princess Daisy. Sorry for the silences. I'm just listening to the dialogue because I just the way Christian Bale showed his it just it's easily one of my favorite roles that the guy has done. My favorite film he's been is Equilibrium, but this one is definitely maybe my second favorite. He definitely has a bit of I don't know, you can call it Ted Bundy or other stuff, bit part to it. Now, I mean, I guess that's a question. Is it cranberry juice or is it blood? So, because the idea is that that woman he was following, he did kill and murder her. Because at the end of the film, there's the question of, did he actually ever murder anybody? And he's just so crazy, he just has these fantasies of murder consistently. Or he's just a murderer that just got lucky and got away with everything, or maybe some of it was real and some of it wasn't. I'm laughing because he's talking to the girl and he's watching fucking porn while doing it. Now, again, is he actually imagining the guy laughing, or is just his psycho brain thinking the guy's laughing at him? I'm sorry, I mean, that I'm not doing much with this commentary. I'm kind of sitting there because I don't really know what to say during the commentary. I mean, I like the film, I enjoy the film, but it's not a film I grow with where I watched countless times. I have all these memories for. I mean, a lot of the stuff kind of speaks for itself. So we got Jared Leto here, who's been in quite a few films recently. Blade Runner 2049, Joker and Suicide Squad, quite a few other stuff. I know like more and more people have hated him and just got tired of seeing him. I mean, I'm fine with him. I don't mind his band. I didn't mind him in films like Blade Runner 12. Well, I mean, I don't think you need that character, but I didn't mind his performance. Just something about this I always thought was just unique of just being so excitable about a new business card. The way they like taped out their business cards as if it's like a holster and taking a gun out. It's like their own yuppie way of, I don't know, comparing dicks or something. A guy just is so frazzled, so over the edge, so out of it that a simple business card could make him go insane. Maybe it's the type that just he needs to feel superior. He needs to feel that he's better. And then his tone, his voice, kind of this like fake bravado of almost like game show host. Just belittling this homeless guy. Oh, this ain't gonna work out. There you go. Just stabs the shit out of him. And just to make it even more clear as a bad guy, not only does he kill the homeless guy, he stomps the dog to death. The master sanity is about to slip. Now, again, that could be his slip of sanity's so gone that he imagines some of these kills that he's fantasizing about, or he really does showcase them, and maybe this is like a hollow guy that's just trying to fill stuff in, so greed, sex, bloodlust, bloodthirstiness, and nothing fills it up because he's, I don't know if sociopathic would be the right term, but he just, who the fuck would want a pig as a pet? Pot billet or not? You want a pig for a pet, find a fat husband. Just He's calling this wrong name because he's a fucking idiot. But Patrick Bateman, I mean, he pretty much hates anyone who's inferior to him, but then he gets mad at someone who's superior to him. It's a guy who can't fit in anywhere, any way, any fashion, any form. Like to dissect girls. Do you know I'm utterly insane? That's I mean that it just there's not a lot of films that are like it, if that makes sense. It's a film that Christian Bale's character, like he's playing a like charming and I don't want to say likable, but it's fun. It's a fun performance, and you wonder what the hell's going to happen next with this guy. This is the big scene people remember, the Huey Lewis in the news. Of course, you know it's the newspaper on the ground. Now, I know Huey Lewis did... There was a parody of this, and you find it on YouTube, where Huey Lewis is Patrick Bateman, and Weird Al is the Jared Leto character. So you say he killed the guy because he felt inferior to him, and that just enraged him tremendously. That's me. Like you just watch this whole scene, and it just I appreciate the uniqueness of it. Not many times you have someone killed to Huey Lewis's hip to be square. Hey, a celebratory smoke. Why not? Get the cigar out. And look at it. He died in like what 2 or 3 axe hits, not 14. You still keep living, like that one film I watched not too long ago, where the devil roams or something, where someone like hits someone with an axe like 14 times and they're still alive. And that's the thing, is that the world he lives in is so obsessed with conformity, materialism, the materialism just being everywhere, that people just care about what product you have, what kind of bag you have, what kind of clothes you have, what kind of business card you have. That the whole yuppie to be Odysee is very hollow and shallow, and it's like, does anybody seem fucking human in the movie? Yeah, that type of thing. Did you truly be crazy in that crazy world, or are you just part of the norm? Can you tell the insane from the sane in that world? Definitely pretty good soundtrack. We got Lady in Red now. There you go. Yeah, why you bother me? Ah, cop, a detective. Think it's Willem Dafoe? Yeah, I guess you better send him in. That's gonna be grass, buddy. Yeah, I almost forgot Willem Dafoe was in this. But it was a lot of times it's nice to see Willem Dafoe show up, good actor. To Live and Die in L.A. and Platoon and Boondock Saints. Just quite a few stuff throughout the years. Of course, people remember as the Green Goblin and Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. So, just looking up some info as they're having this discussion about the disappearance of Jared Leto's character. So, Mary Harron, who directed this, I've never seen another film she did. At all. Whether it be I Shot Andy Warhol, or The Notorious Betty Page, or Charlie Says. So I don't know if that was her choice, that she didn't really want to do any other bigger projects, or they just weren't given to her, or what the deal was. So it came out January 21st, 2000 at the Sundance Film Festival. It was released April of that year. Grossed $34 million on a $7 million budget. Yeah, there was a direct-to-video sequel that, you know what, I don't think I ever saw. American Psycho 2 with Mila Kunis. I don't think I ever saw that film. I've heard it's absolute garbage and it's awful shit, but I never saw it. So it says here, and I know I said at the beginning, but I figured why not? That way I'm not just silent and watching, enjoying the dialogue. That's the thing, I enjoy the actors, their performances, the dialogue, the comedic take on it. So the novel was published in 1991. Had a lot of controversy because it's a depiction of violence against women. The same guy had written the novel Less Than Zero, which became a movie later on. He was disappointed in that. He figured, no one would ever make a movie based on this book. Apparently, David Cronenberg and Brad Pitt became attached to direct and star, and Ellis, the writer, Bret Easton Ellis, who wrote the novel, was brought in to do the screenplay. But Cronenberg did not want to use any of the restaurant or nightclub material from the novel, which he considered boring, wanted to excise the violence, and mandated that the script be 65 to 70 pages. Ellis considered Cronenberg's directions insane and ignored them. He departed significantly from the novel, as he had been living with it for like 3.5 years, 4 years, had grown bored with it. It ended with an elaborate musical sequence to Barry Manilow's Daybreak atop the World Trade Center, a change which Ellis felt exemplified how bored he was with the material. In 1994, they got a new writer, Norman Snyder. David Cronenberg left the project as he hated that guy's draft even more. I guess starting around 1996, Mary Harron. There was talks of her doing it because of I Shot Andy Warhol. I got some pretty positive reviews. Well, nice to have a nod to Texas Chainsaw Massacre in there. Can't go wrong with that. I guess, sex and violence. He's either watching porn or watched a horror movie, so there you go. So, the director had received requests to delve into Bateman's psychology, but she said having a very clear psychological explanation was not interesting. It would have been generic, shallow, and unrealistic. Bateman was simply a monster. Yeah, got a point there. So yeah, sorry I was being silent. I was listening to him as he picked up this girl, this hooker. But it says here, I was also trying to find this info. Lionsgate did not want to cast Christian Bale because he was fairly little known. They pushed for someone like Edward Norton or Leonardo DiCaprio. DiCaprio was considering the biggest. He was considered to be the biggest star in the world at the time because he'd just been in Titanic. He was interested in playing Patrick Bateman, but the director was opposed to casting him, comparing the prospect to Demi Moore's casting in the critically panned 1995 Scarlet Letter film. She said Leo was too boyish to play Bateman and that his presence would harm the film given his young female fan base. The director was fired after making it clear she would not direct American Psycho without Christian Bale. DiCaprio had put a short list of directors, including Danny Boyle, Stanley Kubrick, and Martin Scorsese. Oliver Stone was hired to direct, and after reading with Leo, Jared Leto, and Cameron Diaz, began reworking the script. Oliver Stone and DiCaprio wanted to take the film in a more psychological direction in contrast to Heron's satire, and turn into a Jekyll and Hyde-like story. There was creative differences. Bale was so confident Leo would depart that he turned down other roles for 9 months and continued preparing for this role. So Leo departed and went and did The Beach for Danny Boyle. Oliver Stone left. Apparently, a critic of the novel told Leo to abandon the project due to his young fan base. You like Phil Collins? Sure, I like Phil Collins. I don't mind Phil Collins. I know some people hate Phil Collins, despise him. I don't mind him. I don't mind the band Genesis either. Even the stuff he did, like in the Tarzan Disney film, you'll be in my heart. You'll be in my heart. I just to show kind of his narcissism, his misogynism, his superiority, that he could do anything he want with these two, and they'll do as he says as long as he gives them money, and maybe like him reciting these songs and what they mean and what makes them important shows that I get it. I'm so smart. I'm so intelligent that I get the meaning. I'm so much smarter than you folks. Don't you see how well I get the song? Don't you see how well I get the message, the tone, everything in between about this song? I just spout all this off the top of my head. Look how impressive I am. I would say the girl in the back seems a little bit more into it, while the one on the bed is like her dog died. I mean, you think about it, with all this stuff we've seen throughout the years, whether it be the Bill Cosby stuff or what happened with that, the Diddy parties. See that him looking in the mirror, saying like, "Look how wonderful I am! Look how wonderful I'm doing it." Look how superior I am to all this. Yeah, he doesn't seem like he's enjoying it. I mean, just more in love with himself than the girl he's screwing. Look how shape I am. Look how much stamina I am. Look how good I look while doing this. Now probably him is like, okay, now it's time for you guys to get the fuck out. Time for you to get the fuck out. Do my dishes. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of my house. Ah, we're not done yet. Uh-oh. Ah, you see those marks there? You see the whip on the back. You see the nose bleeding. But they did it. They took the money and did it. And there are people that do that, both men and women, that, you know, they're willing to get a bit of punishment if it means a little bit more extra moolah, so. The fact you have the, like, a suspense scene with music by showing a business card. Oh yeah, he's gonna, just like with Jared Lowe, he thinks he's going to kill him, but then the other guy thinks he's hitting on him because Patrick Bateman is homophobic. And this just stops Patrick Bateman in his tracks. Look at his face. He's just so confused. He's like, every bit of his killer instinct is completely zapped because it's such an affront to his manliness, affront to his killer desire, all that. He even has to wash his gloves. I will say a part of me is kind of surprised that he doesn't try to kill him because he's gay or anything of that sort. It's just literally, instead he's like afraid. Like he caught a disease or something. Like he's deathly afraid of that. Which apparently the director, she said that people gave her grief that, oh my god, how could he be homophobic? And she's like, so you're fine with him murdering people and stomping on a dog, but you're mad that the serial killer's homophobic? Which I buy people saying that because there's people that say stupid shit like that today. Space Jam New Legacy. They're so upset with Pepe Le Pew. No, how dare you have that character in this movie? But then in the background, because it's about Warner Bros. Characters, they have Alex and the Clockwork Orange folks. Which, guess what they did in a Clockwork Orange? They didn't sell oranges, or apples, or grapes. Call it a bit of raping. But, you know, it's fine if they're in it, but Pepe Le Pew is too awful. It's just, sometimes you look at people and you just, how fucking dumb are they? Very ironic that Wonderful picks the same Huey Lewis that he had fun with. So apparently, it says that Christian Bale based his character, his behavior on Tom Cruise and the appearance he had on David Letterman, saying he saw this intense friendliness with nothing behind the eyes. See? The stuff that cost the most was getting the rights to the various songs. Yeah, I could see that. So when he moonwalked with the axe right before he killed Jared Leto, apparently the moonwalk was improvised. Hey, I don't think dyslexia is a virus. Well, you prove it. So I know I'm just repeating some of the dialogue, but again, there's some funny exchanges in this. So then that gets once again gets into the blend of things. Like he says murders and executions, and she thought he said mergers and acquisitions. So again, is it because she misheard it because the music was so loud, or the world is so crazy that even though this guy is giving these clear signs, no one is the wiser for it, or it's him literally, doing these things that don't really exist. The one place he can't get into. So now he's mad that she said the one thing that he can't get into, which makes him feel inferior. So now it's going to elicit his blood rage. God, those crazy fat ass phones. This girl Jean is probably she's probably the only one in the film who's like a normal person and is like not really an airhead or about greed or material stuff. And damn head in the freezer. Damn Ed, I mean, he did mention Ed Dean before, so there you go. Although I don't know, this is really a smart idea for Patrick. Is like if a cop was searching about the disappearance in one, and then your secretary happens to disappear, wouldn't that put a little bit more of a beacon on upon yourself? So that's the thing with Patrick Bateman, is that if someone is better than him, he gets furious and angry and has a blood rage. But he feels someone that he's better than, he can prey upon them and try to do with them what he wishes to. Damn chainsaws and stuff. Hmm. Fucking nailed gun right to red. Now it makes you wonder, like, why did he stop? Like, why didn't he just continue, clean up, and do whatever? I wonder what people's their takeaway from this scene about he lets her go, and not only that, gives her a warning of if you stay, I can't control myself. If you stay, you're going to get hurt. I don't know. Is it? I try to piece it together myself. Is it a sense of pity? Is it a sense of he sees something actually good in this person, or something? I don't know. He got pure or something real with that character Jean, that she's not a fake person. There's all these fake people he deals with day in and day out, and this one is like a real person. It kind of maybe not floors him, but gives him a bit of a pause. Maybe hearing the other girl, just how, okay, another this shallow person that I'm kind of stuck with right now. And again, I'd wonder what people's interpretation of that scene is. Even the look that Christian Bale has is like, oh yeah, it'd be too ridiculous that one of his friends just kills him randomly. Is it Willem Dafoe kind of playing along, or is it he just that oblivious to what's going on? I forgot it was the same girl he had before. That's a smart decision. Take the check and run. That's the thing. Given the temptation, you just walk away. But greed, greed, greed wins over. Greed kills all, and greed leads her to her fate. Because he mentions like there's a driver there, so he can't do a whole lot because there'd be a witness. But you had the check, you could have walked away, but you didn't. Then had opportunity to get the fuck out, but you didn't. It's funny him putting the cocaine into that. Always reminds me of people kept saying that cocaine was put into Coca Cola. Although it's the '80s, so maybe that was true. But I didn't drink Coca Cola in the '80s, so I just never had to deal with that. Yeah, cocaine is one of those things where it was used so much in movies throughout the '80s. So many people like utilizing it. So many movies referencing it. The bad guys had cocaine. They're smuggling cocaine. Cocaine dealers, cocaine wars, all that stuff. It's something. Weirdly enough, it's a drug you don't really hear a lot about in movies nowadays. I'm not saying it's never done, but I can't try to think of the last movie, unless it's like a movie referencing the '80s. But I mean, a movie nowadays that really deals with that. Like it's like they act as if no one ever does cocaine nowadays. I don't know. Maybe they don't. They went to weed, which I mean that's good. That's safer. At least that's safer because so maybe that's for the best. That or jankum, which I mean I'm not even going to get into what the hell jankum is. The less said about the better. Yeah, I think this is when he's going to kill these two. This is the bit where he goes crazy. He's like naked with the chainsaw and stuff. But yeah, apparently they had kind of a lot of violence from the novel. Like the novel was a lot more grisly, a lot more killing. and they had to cut that down. Because the kills we've seen is there's the homeless guy, there's Jared Leto, there's going to be this scene. I guess then the end where he goes on his little rampage, but then you're after going, well, did he go on a rampage? Was all in his head? What's going on there? I guess maybe then you also look at Patrick Bateman and he's like trying to fill something in that can't be filled. So something much more exciting or something much more enticing or something much more thrilling, and nothing will happen. Yeah, it might be stated on the album, but you're not gonna stay it for your real life predicaments. Not one damn bit, not one damn iota. Oh, she don't try to leave now. There you go. This is where you don't get the chainsaw. Could you imagine people watch this the first time, look at this like, what the fuck is going on here? So you just happen to have all these damn women, dead women everywhere? Damn. Just hanging around the bathroom and stuff? You would think there'd be a damn smell with all the rotting corpses and stuff. Again, you would think a lot of people would be hearing this and hearing the damn chainsaw revving. Especially coming up here where he literally drops a chainsaw from that high to hit the damn girl. Then the insanity of it, like he's butt naked, bloody, running with a chainsaw through the hallway that anybody could see. And then to make this hell of a shot that you don't drop this chainsaw and hit the bullseye. Now we see him do this drawing, and we see a lot more of this later when what he's doing it here. You would think she would look down and see this weird, but again, it goes into, are they just so full of themselves in their own world that they can't notice the obvious, or is he actually drawn this thing on the damn thing on the table. More like you're far, far from humanity. The hell you talking about, buddy? Oh shit! Here comes the tear ducts. Here comes Niagara Falls. That's always his answer. He's got to return some videotapes. I don't know what about that makes me laugh. Just the Twin Towers. And yeah, this was 2000 it came out. So yeah, 1 year later, those towers will be gone. That's crazy to think, but that's the sad truth. 1 year later, they'll be gone. I mean, we saw him stomp a dog to death. Feed me a stray cat. It just happens to have a damn pistol. Well, I guess he don't need to do anything with the cat anymore. Just kill the woman. Well, thankfully the kitten survived. That's a good thing. So at least that's a positive. Just look. The reason I'm laughing is I remember a while ago reading about this scene where he shoots the gun. He only fires like a handful of bullets, and then the cop cars explode. And he has this look where he has this confused look, and he looks at the gun as if, was this supposed to do that? But just how many times have you seen movies where people shoot a bullet, a couple bullets at a cop car or any car, and then instantaneously blows up? But so it's like, wait a minute, there's no way that gun should be able to do that. Yeah, but yeah, it leads into, well, maybe this all was in his head. Maybe he did everything else, and maybe like this part is in his head, where he just loses his mind, losing all of his faculties, just telling everybody, anybody he could get to. So I guess Patrick Bateman here is just adamant that he's going to get caught. He's got to get caught at this point. He's got to get caught. So he's going to... I think this is where he gets the phone call or this confession. Yep, there's the phone call. He's going to like leave a message. So I'm just admiring his Pale's performance here. So that's why I'm so silent. Sorry about that. I mean, I guess you could say maybe this is like his most real self, in a way. And I know some of the stuff he's confessing we never actually saw. I think some of the stuff he's confessing was stuff that was in the book, but they didn't film it. So, okay, we'll mention stuff in the book. We'll put in this confession he's given out. Yeah, this is where it gets into, again, what was real, what was not real, how many people did he actually kill, did he kill anybody? I mean, you could argue that he didn't kill anybody. This was all, every single one was just a violent fantasy he had. You just say, oh, he did kill a bunch, just that one night he was out of it, and yeah, he is a killer, but now he can't even pick which is fantasy reality, and he went on a killing spree that was all in his mind. Or somehow it all happened, and somehow it didn't get caught because the whole world he lives in is as crazy and narcissistic and selfish up its own ass as he is. I'm trying to think, isn't it like he goes in here and there's no blood? He's wondering where the hell everything's at? Or maybe not. Again, I'm trying to remember. Everything's paid in. There's nothing there. Yeah, what happened to the dead bodies? Ain't no dead bodies here. Now he's wondering what the fuck's going on. So again, it gets into, was there something here and they're hiding it from people? Do they need to sell the place? Or, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. You weirdo, get the fuck out. I actually like the idea that none of the kills happen, and like this is just, that's truly what makes him psycho, is that he has these sick fantasies that he believes to be true, and he can't tell the difference, and doesn't mean eventually he may one day fulfill them in reality, but yeah, he's just completely out of it. Maybe it's time to quit and get a new job, lady. Time to quit and get a new fucking job. This job ain't having it. This job just ain't free anymore. Time to let it go. Oh yeah, I think this is where she finds her notes and stuff. I mean his notes, I should say. I'm trying to pay attention to the doodles that we see and if they represent what he, again, it could be he just wants to replicate the crimes he did commit, or by drawing these is kind of living through his fantasies. Sorry, I'm just Bill just pulling me in with his performance. Sorry, I'm not saying anything. So now he's saying that he had dinner with Jared Leto twice, but on one end, this guy gets easily confused as to who he's with or who he talked to. Or he could be telling the truth, and this guy never did kill Jared Leto's character. So then you're wondering, like, who is Patrick Bateman? See the bits with the chainsaw there. So either he did some stuff and got away with it, or he's been living a fantasy all along. There's definitely some food for thought. Again, it don't leave you the feeling like, who is Patrick Bateman? Like, what did he do? What did he not do? This confession meant nothing. And that's the predicament he's in. They never find satisfaction. More and more and more, and it'll never be enough. But yeah, I mean, sorry it wasn't much of a commentary, but it was kind of me just enjoying the film and sitting back. And Christian Bale knocked out of the park acting wise. He just completely knocked out of the park acting wise. And idea at times is still rather funny. Great soundtrack. There's a lot of stuff that really makes you think and ponder as to what type of existence Patrick Bateman had. What was real, what was not real, what was him really killing people? Did he kill anybody? Did he kill some people? Did he kill nobody? This is up to the viewer to decide, which makes it, I thought, kind of interesting. So, yeah, I liked it. I quite liked it. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.